it. You see? All right. Hi guys. Welcome. All right. Let me get my headphones on. But yeah, like I said earlier, we're doing Death Note part 10. It is, like I said last stream, it's shocking that I have so many parts of Death Note at this point. Like, it's amazing how how down the rabbit hole of Death Note I am in. But I am. But yeah, let me put in the chat right now the link to Death Note. Let's see. Let me go into Viz. Because you guys, I don't want you to have to like buy the note, like the manga if you don't want to. Like, I understand people can't afford it, so I'm just sending that out to you guys, and it's been sent to both sides. For those of you who weren't here for the last stream, you guys are going to see me on both Twitch and YouTube. Both of you guys are seeing me at this current moment. I decided to do this because, one, I found a way to do it, but two, doing it allows for you guys, like, I know not everyone has a Twitch account, and also you guys not everyone not everyone is like, watching Twitch all the time, and so I figured it would be a good idea to like try to go and do it on YouTube, because more of you have notifications on YouTube than you do on Twitch, and I didn't want to leave the Twitch audience alone either. So I wanted, to do it on both, so that way you guys both feel included, you both feel good. And the good thing is that the system I'm using, you guys can talk to each other. So if you're someone that's on YouTube, you could talk to someone on Twitch through the chat. It'll show up as like Restream Bot. So just let you know, if you see Restream Bot, that is literally someone talking from YouTube or vice versa Twitch, that they're saying their thing. But yeah, you guys are gonna. I have now a connected chat that you can across two platforms at this point. I feel like I've united a divorced family. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, I am so happy that I've done this. So let me pull up the chat on my phone, so that way I make it easier for myself, so I can see the chat like at all times. Restream IO. I wish this app would actually have a genuine app, because I would download it if they had it. But sadly, that's not the case. They don't have a genuine app. So, but yeah, the last time we were kind of rushing through it, so because I had like work that day. So, I am sorry that you guys got a rush job yesterday. But yeah, and there was a couple things I realized after the fact that we have to fix, because they make more plot holes than they're worth. I accidentally made, I think, 4 plot holes. And this is what happens when you do, and this demonstrates what happens when you do a rush job. Because I didn't think through every single detail, like, I realized like, like, for example, how is light supposed to know that he didn't die? Right here. There's nothing, no indicator that he should know. And this would confuse the audience because they would think that light, for some reason, has some cosmic knowledge of whoever he killed, which is not the case. He should not know. He should not know that. So he can say this line, but he can't say it like right now. Right? In this moment. It wouldn't make sense. So that's one thing that I needed to fix because I just didn't make sense. And then on top of that, I was like, this is fine. But like, he's talking too much to himself here. Like, you could talk to yourself, definitely. There are moments where someone could talk to themselves. But he's saying too many things. So, like, I felt like I needed to do is like, I needed to do something different here. Because he didn't have to say one of these. This moment is basically like is not needed due to the fact that we already see it visually on the screen that he writes these names like that. So he doesn't need to. And he doesn't need to look at his clock. He just needs to walk away. So I think that like what I can do but to hint that he did not get the outcome that he wanted, right? He did not get not the outcome, but like he realized the person's still alive by a micro expression. If you guys don't know, micro expressions are little expressions that someone does that kind of like basically unveils their true feelings a little bit. It's something that's used in acting a lot. And so I would want him to just like frown a little. He frowns, he frowns a little and then goes in. Like, we know by then we can then at that point explain it to the audience via light Light talking to Ryuk. We cut back to the scene where Light is telling him the story. Because remember, this is a story that's being told to Ryuk. And so in that moment, we can cut back and basically we have a little conversation, and he's like, so how did you like, what do you think happened? Or like he could say that, like, so that was the moment where I knew his name must have been cut off at that. And he's like, why would you say that? And he's like, because like he could say, like, at that moment I knew there was two possibilities, and they're like, ooh, what were they? One, his name was cut off. His name was cut off on the sheet. Or two, he was not on the test sheet. Which is very much possible. Like, there could be a separate sheet where I know that there is cases where in certain schools and stuff like that, they don't want their students to look bad. They don't want to look bad, so they won't put certain students up. So I could see that could be something. But yeah. So let me see. So the multiverse is expanding. It's true. The multiverse is expanding. You're on point, Haroma. You're on point. We are definitely expanding the multiverse. Oh, it's so fun. But yeah, so I could see that that could be a possibility. So let's get rid of he looks back at the clock, because it makes no sense for him to look back at the clock. Light. Light walks down the hallway. The hallway. Yay. Walks down the hallway. City evening. Light walks out from the open door. He walks down the sidewalk. He looks at a storm. He frowns. He frowns. He frowns. Light walks from the open door and walks towards the chip and snack aisle. There we go. So, yeah. At this point, this was where I was trying to figure out last time whether or not when should Light step in. Because instead of having the guy harass a girl outside the convenience store, I feel like it should be inside the convenience store, because I want it to be that this is footage that could be kind of used as evidence to convince Light's father to have him basically it's evidence for L to go and convince Light's father to install cameras inside of Light's house to try to catch Light. Like, this is like one of the groundbreaking evidences of like that convinces his dad, because he's like, Light was in the same convenience store and he is very, very, very suspiciously just perfectly out of sight of the camera for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds in the convenience store. And then 40 seconds later, the guy is dead. So that is the evidence of that Light, that his father is convinced at that point, right? He's not convinced that Light is a killer quite yet, but he's convinced that he's a possible suspect. Because too many things line up. And he has to, at this point, he has to let it happen. So that's why I want to do the scene inside the convenience store instead of like how it plays out in the manga, where Light's in the convenience store but the guy's not. Because then it kind of gives... Then it's kind of like the guy is outside the store, but I'm thinking, what did possibly 2000s, late 1990s store would have? They wouldn't have cameras on the outside of the store. They wouldn't. They would most likely have it on the inside of the store, pointed at the cash register. Because that is where you would see most likely someone would steal. Right? And so what would make sense is that it would be pointed towards the cash register in a specific way that where it's kind of casting over most of the store. But there is just a few sections where it's not fully covering. And it would make sense that in a convenience store, right, the sections that would not cover would be sections like greeting cards. It would definitely be the greeting card section. Because if you're looking at greeting cards and magazines, you're less likely to steal. Something like that. In a convenience store. So that's the methodology I'm seeing in this idea. And so I think what should happen, Light's in the chip aisle. The guy is basically harassing the cashier, right? He walks down the chip aisle, basically trying to like look busy and look like he's supposed to be there, but also like kind of be close enough to be able to listen into their conversation to see if he can gain a name or some sort. And so he walks down the aisle and he like glances up and quickly and sees that there's a camera. There's a camera across from the cashier. On the other side of the wall, across from, pointed at the cash register. So kind of gives a vibe where they know what's about to happen. And so that happens. We do see, let's see. So we do see that, he looks up, he goes that. He gets chips. I think he should get like, it has to be stuff where it wouldn't be weird for someone to get that. To get like it has to be like Japanese convenience store food, like 7-Eleven food, like good 7-Eleven food. Like it has to be something like that where like it's the iconic Japanese 7-Eleven food. He's eating it. It gives culture, but it kind of like it gives him an alibi, right, for why he's in there. So he's in there. He gets like, we can have him get like one of those pre-made onigiri. Like a pre-made onigiri. And maybe we want the potato chips, definitely, because iconic. And maybe a water. You know? Because it feels a water or some juice of some sort. Something like that. Don't know what it would be. And then I feel like Guy, when the point is to where I think Light makes the decision to jump in, that he's like, okay, if I don't like step in right now, it's gonna look more suspicious than if I had not stepped in, right? Because I'm also trying to put my head into the head of like Light, right? What he's analyzing. So he's like, okay, I see there's a camera. If this guy truly does die, if I manage to kill this dude, I'm on camera. So I need to be in a perfect place for this. But then he hears that it's getting worse. And he's like, if he does die, my dad is most likely going to see this footage. I'm going to need a good, if I don't step in, that's going to seem like I'm out of character. Right? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step in, and then when I step in, then it should dissipate the situation and help me with my cover, right? That's how I see it. That's his thought process. And he's hoping to glean, he's hoping that like he can manipulate hoping that the situation devolves enough to where he can get the name. But 2, he's hoping that he can get that situation, make it look that he like was in the right? He's not acting weird. So that's another thing. Another reason why another thing is the reason why I'm making this guy Sudu, the guy that was bullying the kid in the cram school, is twofold. I want there to be a scene where Light is forced to face the ramifications of his actions, right? But he still proceeds. I want Rio to the guy that is getting bullied by Sudo, like, I want there to be a line to say where he says, like, you know, I wanted that guy to go away, like, for so long, but I didn't want him to die. I just hoped that he would just, like, you know, get expelled from the cram school. You know, his actions have made this guy that's been bullied feel guilty for wishing this guy would go away, and he feels like the universe acted upon that in a sense. And instead of being like, I want it to be that instead of looking at that and being like, man, my actions really have consequences, really are hurting people around me. Because this guy is a narcissist, he's not going to think that way. So what he's going to think is like, I definitely want to make sure that it's someone not close to me, because then it might hurt people around me, and that might be bad, right? He's not thinking of people's feelings, like, he's thinking of the consequences of it. Like, I want Ryu to present that moment of, like, Light could have shown humanity in that moment and didn't. Basically. He put on a facade, but he didn't show any humanity. He's dead behind the eyes, in a sense. So, let's keep going. Okay. Let me put my phone right here. But yeah. I'm so happy that I've been, like, before this I've been watching Studio Ghibli films with my younger siblings. Because they had never seen them. The Studio Ghibli films. And so, since I'm introducing it to them for the first time, I wanted to, like, you know, I wanted to give them a curated thing. So I'm starting them off with, like, Kiki's Delivery Service, which I'm excited about. That they're watching Kiki's Delivery Service. Because I want to take them through all of it. They're very young, so they're very, very young siblings, so I am like doing it like that because I want to make sure that I'm giving them a good thing. And it went so well too. Like basically it went so well cuz like he the youngest one was like he he was he was I was like, "Oh, are you liking it?" And he was like, "Yep. Yep." And I'm like, "Oh." And he's like, "Is it in Spanish?" I'm like, "No, buddy. No, it's not in Spanish. It's in Japanese." He still liked it even though he couldn't understand a single word that was happening. Hi. May I have your phone number for the order? For the order. But yeah, basically, right? So like he was so cute about it and he was like you could see it in his eyes. He was enjoying watching Kiki. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so adorable." So adorable. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish it. But I promised him. I was like, "Don't you worry, buddy. We will watch more of it tomorrow. We will watch more Kiki. Don't you worry." And I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy I could share that with him because I'm like, oh, it's so adorable. It's so innocent sweet. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, hi, may I have your phone number for the order? For the order. And then the sudo. You may you can have it for more than that. You can have for more than that. For more than that. All right. You can have it for more than that. Just please, cashier. Just, can you please just, can you please, type it into the pin pad, Can you please type it into the pen pad? Sudo. Anything for anything for you. Anything for you. Anything for you. Anything for you. I'm trying to find what would be like kind of like a pet name that would that would be locally appropriate. Let me see. Anything for you. So let me see. I'm checking right now to see like what are common words used by cat callers in Japan. 'Cause like let's see. Interesting. The prancing, yada yada yada, yeah. Okay, and says so it's just the normal ones. So because I didn't want to do like girly or like sweet or sweetie, because sweetie, I don't know, it kind of has a flamboyant touch to it. Not to say it's a certain like, not to say it's like gay, but like I don't know, it just doesn't like, it doesn't feel like, you know, it sounds like a word that would be used in term of endearment by a family member. And then my sweet feels too old. It feels like something that would be said in like Bridgerton. So that one doesn't work. I just feel like, I guess babe. Cause like there's no like good answer to say. You know, I tried. I tried, but unfortunately, there's nothing. There's nothing. They basically they say the same things over and over. Oh, I forgot to put O dot S. O dot S. For those of you who don't know what O dot S means, it means off screen. So we're just hearing this. Now, it could be they're so far away that they're obscured by something, but yeah. Okay, and then I feel like so hmm. Hmm. Um Cashier. Let me see. I guess it's only us, Aroma, for the most part. How's your day, Aroma? Um, yeah. Just checking this. Trying to see everything. Okay. Checking my settings. Okay. So, let's see. Hmm. What should I type? Um, your your total is hmm. Um, dollars in yen. Your total is 851.30. Is 851.30. 8. There we go. For those of you wondering, that's how much $5 is. Approximately $5.30 is in Japanese yen. So yeah. But yeah. 8